Hey, it's Ardea. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're gonna go right into this makeup tutorial because I did a makeup haul. The first product that I'm gonna be trying today is the Easy Blur Primer from Huda, and I'll apply that to my T-zone. On first application, this is incredibly jelly-like almost. It has a semi-silicone feel, but to compare it to something, it doesn't have the feel of the Smashbox photo finish. So I don't know, that's a good thing to me, because one thing I'm noting is that my skin does not feel dry. It actually feels pretty hydrated. It is a silicone-free smoothing primer, so it was a good thing that I even noted what the feeling was like, and I feel like it's a little bit more hydrating. Pair it with the Easy Blur foundation for more of a soft focus look. So great, I have it. And I decided to choose the shade that I've always used. I have the Easy Blur in the shade 500. It does have a bit of a runnier formula than I think I was anticipating. So it is similar to the primer, which is why they should be pairing so well together. And then it's meant to give a natural airbrush finish. So I'm going to just go ahead and stipple. For this to have only been one swipe, I'm really loving the cheek coverage that it gave me. First impression of this, I'm not gonna lie, I really like it. I do see that I need to build up the product some more, but that's where some heavy duty concealer comes in most of the time for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead in with this concealer from Clinique, and this is in the shade Mocha. As an all over concealer, this is really a good one. Based on my chin and my forehead, like, I feel like this is adding to the coverage of the Huda foundation, and I'm really liking it. I wasn't gonna focus too much on my base in this video, but I don't know, I have so many base products that I haven't tried out yet that it kind of makes sense. I feel like it only makes sense that I would give it a go. I like to brighten things up a little bit, so I'm just gonna put this for a bit more coverage and brightness. So along the sides of my nose, as well as just down the center. But what I'm gonna do this time is just let it sit. In the meantime, I'm gonna go to something that I've used time and time again, which is the Patrick Ta. This is the cream contour and powder bronzing duo. And I do know that Patrick Ta has his own way of doing this, but I'm gonna stay to the traditional way and put cream before powder. So the color that I have is She's Chiseled. Use the cream shade, which is very well loved here. And I'm gonna take it a little higher than I typically put my contour shade. And that will be how I contour today. I'm gonna go back to my brush because I feel like it's been at least 2 minutes of dry time. And I'm gonna go ahead while looking up and just hit in the inner corner. Upon closer inspection, the skin is skinning, y'all. Go ahead and get into setting. And initially when I bought this powder from ABH, my goal was to attempt to compare it to the Deep Peach, but she just kind of sat in the drawer and I kind of forgot that I had her, but we're pulling her out for this video. So hold me accountable in the comments and let me know if you'd like to see what that video would look like. So just go ahead and ask me below or say, hey girlie, post that video because we want to see it. I'm just loading up my powder puff by pressing it into the cover. And I'm going to go ahead and just press the majority of the powder under my eye. And then I'm gonna fine tune it by looking up to the ceiling and just pressing that into my eye area. Even though I used a Patrick Ta, I did pick up the NYX NYX Buttermelt Bronzer. And this one is in the shade Dew Butter. Very pigmented, by the way. And then I'm just going to tap it over my cheek area. For blush, I'm really excited because I get to try one of the first shades that I've ever purchased of the Buttermelt, but also I'm gonna mix it with something else because I'm trying to see what it's giving. This one is the Buttermelt in the shade Back in Butter. I love how creative they got with these names. I'm gonna basically put this on the top tippity top of my cheek, almost as if I'm trying to put it into my eye socket or like my upper crease area, but I'm really just trying to grab this particular portion of my face. Okay. Y'all see that, right? But look at this. I recently made a purchase from Moira, and when I saw this blush, I don't know why I didn't have it before then, or why I didn't know Moira existed, but once I saw this blush, I was like, you know what, you're coming home with me. Like, it's an ombre blush, so you have that lighter shade into the oranges shade, and I'm just going to put that on the top of my cheek, not bringing it too close to my nose, but not putting it so far to where like it's only in line with the arch of my brow. But I know y'all can see the magic that is happening right now, and I love blush, so it didn't really take much to convince me to purchase this. So this is in the shade Orange Blossom, and it's their signature ombre blusher. So I like to mix as well as separate the color just to build up intensity. And I know the blush is blushing. Let me see. And it is. It certainly is. So to do all of that for my base, I just use these 3 brushes. So in case you want to know what this one is, it's basically a dupe for the Real Technique. This is the 51014 brush, or just the Mange 51014. So I'm gonna say 51014 brush. And then this one, I don't remember what company this is from, but this is also from Shein. So if you guys want to take a screenshot so you guys could get these as well, do so. Okay, so we're back. And now we're gonna focus on the eyes. So I had to make sure that I got this product from Clinique. This one is a lash building primer. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that through my eyebrows, because when I tell you guys, learning this technique has quite literally changed the game for me. Like, I'm not saying brow products don't typically work, but something about this absolutely is the it thing, and it's something you guys should consider if you didn't already know about this hack. It holds your brows without that crunchy feel, and it actually puts your hairs in place. So if I wanted to go in and, you know, use a flat surface and roll down my eyebrows, I absolutely could, but it's really not something that I'm into, so I don't do it very often. But to me, this is more than enough. I'm gonna go in with the One Size concealer, and I'm just gonna put that under the arch of my brow. As my way of cleaning up, even though I would say less than 2 weeks ago I cleaned up my eyebrows. Let me just talk to you about these eyeshadow palettes. So I actually found out that these were created 2 years ago, and for the longest time I only saw this palette. So, you know, I saw it and I was like, well, I already have the original version, which I'm going to put on the screen. But then when I saw this, I said, if this does not make it home with me, something wrong. So I got the 2 of them because while in store I was playing around with this, and I was so impressed by the shadows that it pretty much is going to be the whole base of this. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on the back of my hands. This is the P. Louise Paints, and it's in the shade Blank Canvas. I really love this color because I feel like it is a good neutral color. It goes a long way. So I'm just gonna prime one eye, and I'm gonna try the new technique where I do one eye at a time. I don't think I've ever done that in my life, but we're gonna figure that out together. This is the beautiful NYX Ultimate I Know That's Bright. Now I'm gonna add the orange. Stamp that on the outer corners of that brown, almost as if I'm trying to carve out and map my crease. And what this palette is missing is transition shades. Like, I wish for every shimmer there was equally a matte. I would have added to this would have been a red shimmer. I would have added a deep purple just as a transition, because I can see myself doing smoky eyes based on how the colors look. but at the same time it's like it works but it doesn't at the same time, because the main like I get it's supposed to be a rainbow palette, but I feel a little stalled. But anyway, we're gonna keep going. So I'm going to go ahead in with one of the yellow shades. I don't think these have individual names, so I'm just gonna call this 13 because that'll be what it's marked as on the back. And I'm going to use this flat brush and just tap the color over my eyelid. This is a flat brush from Jessup. Okay, so in my opinion, it's not the most consistent. I mean, I like the color, but I feel like it's a little patchy. But anyway, so I'm gonna use the shade 15 and I'm gonna tap that over the outer corner of my eye. Okay, so this is kind of saving it for me. Basically, I mean, like, why the yellow don't have a shimmer? We have 3 shades of yellow, but we don't have a shimmer. I know I love this shade already, so perhaps I'll just cover the yellow with that. So I'm gonna use another new pickup, and this is the Moira eyeshadow primer. I want to say it's either the same price or slightly cheaper than the NYX, but I'm gonna go into shade 16, and it's like this foily kind of shadow, and I'm just going to go ahead and tap it all over my eyelid where I had the yellow before. And now I low-key want to mix in that pinkish shade. At this point, we're just playing the makeup. So I'm sorry that it started off as a tutorial, but quickly segued into just me playing with color because y'all see how beautiful this is. I actually like that pink, but it looks peachy to me. I feel like mixing those 2 colors a while ago just made it look like I'm wearing a duochrome eyeshadow, and I'm truly not mad at it. I had the bright idea. So at first I was going to use this One Size, which I know is tried and true. I love her. But I have a Sephora 24-hour intense ink liner. So I'm about to hold my breath and do my best to make this a really good liner. Liking is that it has a felt tip. I don't know what tip I was expecting, but I'm really liking that. First of all, vibrancy, top tier. It didn't skip and hopping or nothing. I love the color so much already. What do we think? Y'all see the vision, right? So to get started, we're gonna do a nice neutral lip combo. And I'm gonna get started with this newer shade from MAC called Root For Me. This has been a summer love of mine since last year when they launched. This is from Mario Badescu. This is from Makeup by Mario, and it's in Strawberry Glow. I don't know if they came away any new shades yet, but I love how these feel on the lips. So thanks to me making a P. Louise order the other day, they sent me the intense color. What is this called? This is called the P. Louise Lip Base Achieve the Perfect Pout, and this one is hydrating and stays put all day. I can attest to that. So this is in the shade Baby Doll. At first when I saw it, I thought it was too neutral for me, but then I realized it's because I was putting on way too much. I don't know if y'all saw a little pea size amount I put on here, but I was applying way too much honey. This is the Absolute New York Freshly Bitten Gloss, and this one is in the shade Stimulation. It's just a beautiful baby doll pink. Since everyone likes a good milky lip, that's why I decided to try this. And you see how beautiful. This is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed spending time with me, hearing my random thoughts, and just kind of getting to see a bit more of my personality. That is something I truly wanted to highlight because I feel like I really subdue my personality for whatever reason. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Wait, I know I closed out the video, but let's pretend like I didn't. But you know what? Let's call this a little end credit, like what you would see if we were watching a Marvel movie. I have these ones here. This is the MAC Dazzle Shadow. I was supposed to put it on my inner corner and I totally forgot. This is Gold Stud. And as you can see, I just used it to color in the inner corner. But anyway, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't already told me anything from what I asked you before, go ahead and do so now. So don't forget to hold me accountable, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.